Hello, my name's Dr. Gabrielle Peacock. I'm a general practitioner with mental health specialty, and I want to let you know about a new blog that I've started called howtotrainyourhormones.com. This blog is based on a book that I'm writing about my quirky approach to treating premenstrual syndrome. It's estimated that 95% of women experience some symptoms of PMS in their lifetime, with 20 to 30% suffering moderate to severe symptoms and just 2 to 5% the more severe premenstrual dysphoric disorder. The usual treatments for PMS include lifestyle modification, dietary modification, vitamin and nutritional supplements, hormone manipulation and prescription medication. But my experience is that none of these things, while some women get some benefit, none of these things really are curative. And it was my frustration from my 20 years experience in general practice and thousands of conversations with women with PMS that led me to developing this new approach. My approaches come out of the conversations that I'd had with these women, and what I noticed was that I'd never met a single woman in the throes of PMS who didn't have a legitimate reason for feeling how she was feeling. But it perplexed me that the grievances that she had, she would trivialise or minimise because the emotional response seemed so disproportionate to the grievance that she had. And the people around her would also trivialise or minimise the grievance that she had because she didn't seem to be behaving like herself. There was a lot of confusion. Women often felt like they were going crazy. But if you look at that premenstrual phase and you really look at those grievances, they are legitimate. And what I began to see was that it wasn't the premenstrual phase that was the problem, but actually what happened to mood in the mid-cycle phase was the thing that caused the problem. And I see this as an evolutionary adaptation, that the reason why hormones affect mood was primarily to get women pregnant. And the phase where they do that the most is in the mid-cycle phase, around ovulation. So to give you a visual kind of view on what I mean by this, this graph shows the way that mood changes over the cycle, and the hormones are predominantly the reason for this. So day one of the cycle is day one of menstruation, and you've just come through the premenstrual phase and things are beginning to start to feel normal. But hormones start to affect your mood in this early phase of the cycle, and the things that a woman notices is that she becomes more patient, more affable, more accommodating, and little by little over time she moves her attention from what her needs are to the needs of the people around her, to the needs of the tribe, to the point where at ovulation having sex with an ex-willing murderer seems like a really good idea. The other effects of the hormones have on mood is to make a woman feel like she has superpowers. She has more energy, she can multitask, she can do many things. She can hold down a full-time job while raising a family and doing many other things. The woman herself really likes this mood because she can get so much done, and the people around her like this part of her mood because she's so accommodating and so easy to get on with. Now, if she gets pregnant, that mood continues, but if she doesn't get pregnant, it reverts to normal. And in that premenstrual phase, she's suddenly acutely aware of how she's subverted her needs for the needs of the people around her. She often feels resentful that it seems as if people have taken advantage of that affable mood. But she's also very confused because what really matters to her now didn't seem to matter 2 weeks ago, and she doesn't understand that. So the way that I tackle this situation is to get women to acknowledge that what's bugging them in the premenstrual phase is totally valid. Don't worry about the emotions for now, but really notice that what's bugging you is important. And I get them to write it down because they will forget. So I get them to identify what's important to them generally, what's important to them as human beings, and to write it down because they will forget. And the trick now is not to implement it now, not to do anything about it now, but to wait just a few days. So you wait until the period started, till your mood's returning to normal, till you start to feel quite normal. And just wait until that hormonal effect on mood starts to make you feel better. And as you start to get that patient mood happening, the affable, cooperative patient mode, you need to read those things. Now, it's very likely when you read the things you've written down in the premenstrual phase that you will look at them and think, God, I wonder why I was so worried about that. That doesn't seem important to me now. But it is important, and this is the trick. You need to believe it's important, and you need to make some actions to help people to coexist with you. So you try and take it seriously, but you use the patient affable mode as you're approaching ovulation to help to teach people what's okay and what's not okay where you're concerned. So you've already worked out how many times to ask your kids to do something before they should do it. And this is when to teach them. This is when to say what you mean and do what you say. And I guarantee you will feel better. So if you're interested, have a look at the website, www.howtotrainyourhormones.com, and leave a comment, leave some feedback. It'd be great to hear from you.